Okay, so hello and welcome to yet another Gaming Masters Let's Talk episode. Now, this is going to be one of our longer episodes. I suppose it will be put under one of our special episodes. I'm going to be talking about the games I'm really looking forward to in 2017 that have been announced so far. There haven't been a huge number of games announced so far. It's fairly early on in the year. It's only the 8th of January. There aren't that many that have been confirmed with set release dates. It seems like there's less than there were last year, especially ones that we know quite a bit of information about. Obviously, things will change later on in the year with E3 and Gamescom, so this is just my list for at the start of the year of games that I'm really looking forward to. So, we're going to be covering all platforms with this, and in some ways I suppose it's a bit badly timed with the Nintendo Switch press conference later on this week at the time of recording this episode, but I'm not a huge fan of Nintendo's games apart from the Mario Kart and things like that, so I probably wouldn't really be too excited for any of the Nintendo games. That may change, but we'll just have to see what happens with the press conferences this week. So, the first few games I'm really interested in this year are For Honor. For Honor is a game made by Ubisoft coming out on the 14th of February. This is, I believe, the first AAA title of the year, and I've played bits of it. I've been to Gamescom earlier on in the year, and last year, and it's a medieval sword fighting combat game, which some people are worried about because it's peer-to-peer networking. At least the content that people have leaked on the internet, it's peer-to-peer, no dedicated servers. Things may change before the launch, we don't know. This hasn't been confirmed or denied by Ubisoft. But For Honor, I'm liking the look of. I'm not sure how much I'll play of it. The thing with me is I've never really been interested in games like that, and when I played it at Gamescom, the control scheme seemed too complicated for my liking. It's very much like Mortal Kombat in the terms of you need to know all of the different combinations to actually be able to do quite a lot in the game, and it requires quite a lot of dedication to learn those combos, or you've got to be very good at combo games. I'm not so good at them, but I love the concepts of For Honor. It will be interesting to see how that plays out and what the reviews are like for it. I wouldn't be expecting any reviews or any content early, really, apart from the few bits that have gone up so far. But Ubisoft might be doing some other things. It'll be interesting to see how long For Honor lasts. I think it's probably going to last a month or two and then die off, which is a shame because it does look like a very unique title. Now, on the same day, we have Sniper Elite 4. Sniper Elite 4 seems to be a very, they seem to have made the changes that Sniper Elite 3 needed. Sniper Elite 3 I wasn't particularly impressed with. What I've seen so far of Sniper Elite 4 seems fairly impressive. Now, with this being a February release, you never know. Sniper Elite 4 and For Honor might be coming to the Nintendo Switch just a month later. We don't know any games coming to the Switch yet, so we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see how Sniper Elite 4 plays out. Campaign looks interesting from what we've seen so far. Not many details have been revealed about either of those games from what I've seen. We've got quite a few character reveals for Honor. Sniper Elite 4 is more storyline based, so I think that's partially why they're kind of like keeping the information down. There are a few other games releasing between now and then, but those are the first games that I'm really looking forward to this year. Another game to mention is Halo Wars 2. I'm not much of an RTS person. That's launching also in February. It's coming to Xbox One and PC, so that might be something that you're interested in. Horizon Zero Dawn, this was supposed to launch last year, I believe. It's a PS4 exclusive due out on February the 28th. It reminds me very much of Ark, but with dinosaur robots, which seems pretty cool. It's very unique. I haven't followed it as much as I've wanted to follow Horizon Zero Dawn, but I will definitely be picking that up next month. It's something that has been, in some ways, people aren't too impressed with it. Some people are really looking forward to it. It might be a flop like No Man's Sky, where it just isn't the game that people are expecting. We'll just have to see how Horizon Zero Dawn launches. I'm really wishing I looked into it a bit more, because I don't know enough about it to know if it's something that will be really good. I haven't even looked into if it's a story or anything like that. All I've seen is a few gameplay trailers, and that's it. So, yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, that's out towards the end of February. Now, there are quite a few games coming out in March. This is when things tend to pick up. We've got Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's a 4-player co-op, open world, action-adventure kind of game. It looks insane. I can't wait for it. It's based in Bolivia. Loads of cool stealth combat, which is something that I really wanted to get into a bit more, try and understand a bit more, because I've not really followed the stealthy kind of games. You can go in 4 different... I suppose you can go with different combat approaches. You could do the stealth, you could do the kind of like all guns blazing and things like that. So Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, March the 7th, is probably my first major I want this now release of 2017. But there are a few other releases that I've mentioned which I'm actually interested in. So yeah. Next up, now, quite a lot of people are excited for Mass Effect Andromeda. We've covered it quite a bit in the show over the past week, mainly because of all of the different bits of information that we've had revealed, like the release date, a few bits of gameplay, multiplayer information is coming soon, minimum and recommended specifications are coming soon. So yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda looks interesting. It's coming to all platforms, so PS4, Xbox One and PC. Mass Effect Andromeda will be probably my first Mass Effect, which I will play all the way through, and quite a bit of. I never played Mass Effect until it launched on Xbox One backwards compatibility, and even then I played half an hour and didn't really enjoy it. But Mass Effect Andromeda looks quite different. I think it's a new start for the franchise in some ways, so with it being the first next-gen native release, it having a new approach, I really want to check out Mass Effect Andromeda. That's the 21st of March. So that's it really for the March and February releases. Moving into April. April seems to be a fairly quiet month as well. The start of the year tends to be fairly quiet. The only game that's really taking my fancy at the moment is Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. We do also Persona 5 and Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. Ukulele, Dragon Quest Heroes 2 as well is slated for a April release. But Sniper Ghost Warrior 3, I played at Gamescom. I really, really enjoyed it. It's something that I will definitely be picking up at launch and playing quite a lot of. April the 4th of that, you have loads of different... Yeah, again, it's very much like Ghost Recon Wildlands and Hitman. You have very different approaches to the combat and the way of taking out the missions. is quite literally the title. You can be a sniper, you can be a ghost, or you can be a warrior going into these missions. I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for the full launch. I think it was delayed originally. So, yeah. Now, May is an interesting month. There are two games which I'm interested in, and then there's another game which has just been re-revealed, but I don't know much about. Injustice 2 looks pretty cool. That's made by the same people that have made Mortal Kombat. Injustice 2 has loads of superheroes and stuff like that. I've not followed it as much as I wanted to. I've not seen as much content as I could have. I never played the original game, it's only just come on my radar in recent weeks, but it looks pretty cool with loads of superheroes battling it out and stuff like that. So Injustice 2 will be interesting. Battalion 1944 is launching in early access in May, with its alpha and things like that. So there's quite a bit of content that we'll be seeing about that. However, this isn't the full launch, so you won't be expecting it on PlayStation 4. I doubt we'll be seeing it on Xbox One either in May. I think it will only be PC in May. So that's something to keep a lookout for, but the amount of content that we'll see about that is kind of up in arms as such, because there will probably be under NDAs and things like that, so you might not see any gameplay for it just yet. Next title that we're going to be talking about is Rime. Rime was just re-revealed earlier on this week, going from a PlayStation 4 exclusive to covering literally every platform on the market, including the Switch, which hasn't had any games really revealed for it so far. So we know that Rime's going to be coming to it. I've not followed this. It's originally a PS4 exclusive, so I don't know much about it at all because I don't tend to follow the PlayStation 4 exclusives. Obviously, if it's something that is major, I will cover it. Things like No Man's Sky, Uncharted 4, etc. But the smaller PlayStation 4 exclusives and the PlayStation 4 content I've never really followed. Very much the same with Nintendo Switch. I do want to change that this year. I've mainly followed PC and Xbox One so far. Now, these are all of the release dates that we do actually know. However, there are quite a few other games which have been confirmed for a 2017 release date, including Crackdown 3, which is going to be launching on Xbox One and PC. That looks quite powerful with its cloud-based architecture for like the demolition and stuff. You have to be online only, I believe. But Crackdown 3 is going to be pretty cool. That was delayed from last year. I'm not sure how Crackdown 3 is going to play out. I have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be cancelled. It doesn't seem to have any content surrounding it revealed at all so far, and for a multiplayer game, they're keeping quite tight lips about it. It may be that they are still launching it this year, it may still be in development, but I'm a little bit worried about Crackdown 3. It will be interesting to see what happens with that still, though. We've got a few other things as well. Cuphead's slated for a middle of 2017 release date. That will be interesting. Quite a lot of people have showed a lot of hype and interest in Cuphead. It's something that hasn't really taken my fancy, but we will see what happens with Cuphead. A lot of people are showing interest in it, and it looks quite interesting, but it's nothing that's really taken my fancy a huge amount. We've also got a few other games coming out this year. Friday the 13th is due for a release. Guardians of the Galaxy for Telltale series. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite Metal Gear Survive. I thought that was already out. Might be in a beta phase on PC. Not 100% sure. It's that kind of zombie Metal Gear title. Outlast 2 is also slated for a launch this year, and also Prey. Prey looks pretty cool. Very, I don't know how I'll be able to cope with it. I don't like the horror games and things like that, but it does look pretty cool. Also, one of the major titles that has been talked about this year, Red Dead Redemption 2. Still don't know if that's coming over to the PC. That's not been confirmed. It's coming in 2017. That's all we know. It will probably be a full launch around about September, October time. Scalebound's also due for release this year alongside with Sea of Thieves. Both of those are titles which Microsoft have covered quite a bit. They're not coming to the PlayStation 4. Scalebound looks interesting. I think Scalebound was actually delayed from last year as well. Sea of Thieves looks interesting. It's a game by Rare, so you know it's going to be good. It's a 4-player action co-op game which is based in the sea and you're kind of pirates and stuff. It looks pretty cool. Something that PlayStation 4 users will be happy about is Shenmue 3. I've not really seen much about it, but I've seen the hype around it, so that'll be pretty cool. South Park: The Fractured Butthole is also coming out this year. That was delayed, actually, from December's launch. It was delayed from, so that was quite a late release in last year and was delayed quite close to the launch, actually. I think it was only a week or two before launch. So that's a shame that that was delayed, but there have been a few leaks surrounding a release date for March. So you never know, we might be getting South Park: The Fractured Butthole in March. Nothing confirmed just yet. Obviously, I've also got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for Nintendo, Wii U, and the Switch. And that's all of the games that we've really got in the list at the moment. Nothing is really confirmed for a 2017 full launch. There's nothing huge. There are a few other games as well, like Renegade Line, which is launching in a beta phase next month, which looks pretty insane, actually. It reminds me very much of Battlefield Heroes. They've gone for that kind of approach, but in third person. We covered that in an episode on the 6th of January, about midway through the show. So if you do want to see a bit more about that, it was about the end of the show, middle end of the show, that we covered that. But I'm actually looking forward to that. I really want to back it. It's only a PC release at the moment. They are looking into Mac and also Linux. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm surprised EA haven't picked up on it and done a kind of like copyright strike kind of thing against it. It's very, very similar, but Battlefield Heroes, I can't remember if that was the first person or third person shooter. But that was shut down quite a few years ago. We'll see what happens with Renegade Line. It looks interesting, so we'll keep you up to date. I really want to cover it. I think there were a few other games that were slated for a 2017 launch as well. Nier Automata? No. Nier Automata is out. It's PS4 exclusive in March, but there were a few other things as well which I was looking forward to. Oh yeah, Conan Exiles looks pretty cool. That's launching in early access later on this month. There's nothing really that's major like Battlefield or Call of Duty or anything huge like last year. Last year we had quite a bit of information about this year's, 2016's releases by now. I felt that we knew quite a bit, whereas now we don't know much at all. Obviously, things will change with E3 in just a few months. I think it's about 160 days away, not like I'm counting. It'll also be interesting to see what's happening with Dead Island 2. That's something that's been on the cards since 2015. I think it was revealed a few years ago now, 2013 possibly, but we've not heard anything from Deep Silver surrounding Dead Island 2 just yet. It's been delayed, there are a few development issues. The development team still say it's in the works, but I don't know if it is. It will be lovely if we do see that as a 2017 launch, but we don't know. So yeah, that's gonna be our special episode for this week, covering the games for 2017. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We're gonna be doing loads of different kind of lists and news episodes coming very, very soon. We are going to be getting a pop filter. We're working on the audio settings and things like that as well. We know that this is something that we've got to work on. It's something that we're going to be working on over the next few episodes. So yeah, thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed this list. If you do have any questions or any games that you wish was in this list, do let us know. We'll be happy to cover them in the future. And we also want to know what your top games for 2017 so far are. Thank you for listening. If you do want to contact us, you can on Twitter at OfficialGMYT. Join our Discord server, which will be linked down below in the description. And also, don't forget that if you do want to support us, you can through Patreon. You don't have to. This show is free, but it'd be greatly appreciated if you do support us through Patreon as well to help us with upgrading our equipment and things like that. So yeah, that's it for today's show. We'll probably have an update later on in the year with a kind of like E3 list with all of the other games that we don't know anything about at the moment. But for now, thank you for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow with our daily news roundup. Thanks, and goodbye. And goodbye. And goodbye.